back to another Renae's Corner video. I'm Renae, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite and least favorite parts of grad school. I can't remember if a subscriber or somebody over on my Instagram, or maybe somebody who is both of those types of people, somebody who's subscribed and on my Instagram, commented this video when I asked for video suggestions, and I thought it was a great idea, so shout out to you. And yeah, so we're gonna start with the things that I don't necessarily like or that are my least favorite, and then we'll move into my favorite parts. I think that I should preface this with, like, I am really bad at making decisions on what is my favorite thing in any aspect. So this was really hard for me to pick like top 3 favorites and least favorite things about grad school. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so I will start with number 1, my least, probably, I don't know if this is my top, they're not gonna be in any order, but my first least favorite part of grad school is sometimes, to me, it feels like it goes so slow. Like it feels like you're dragging your feet through the mud sometimes, because like research takes time to develop, and ideas take time to develop, and clinical work takes time to, like, you know, learn and be a part of, and sometimes it just feels like so slow to me. And like I am like a busybody and like a person who likes to go, like get it done, get it done, get it done. But with grad school, it feels like it's so much more a marathon. And like if you're a go kind of person, sometimes it feels like it's taking forever for anything to get done. And so for me, that's what I've been experiencing lately. I think that I'm just like, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? And like the things that are next take a long time to develop and do. And so that for me is like, it drives me crazy, because it kind of makes me feel like I'm like not doing enough, not progressing enough, not getting things done enough. And it's none of those things. It's just like the way that the system of grad school works. Like it moves slow. Like research moves slow, ideas move slow, clinical progress moves slow. And so it just like, yeah, it's just a slow, like, I'm gonna say this, like it feels slow in the moment, but the pace is really fast. Like in the moment, sometimes I feel like I'm doing like 60 different things, but then like it still doesn't feel like the big picture has moved any, if that makes sense. Like if we're on the track, like task 1 is like 50 things, but like you only move like an inch to get to the finish line, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Number 2, I think that for me, my like next least favorite thing isn't really to do with grad school. It just has to do with my situation in grad school. And so like I think that for clinical psychology, it's a lot harder to go see your family and to leave, because you have to think about client welfare, and you can't just like leave for 2 months because, you know, your clients need you sometimes. And yeah, I think that's the hardest part, because I went from like being home all the time or like every other weekend to like not being able to go home except for twice a year. And it's been like a really hard adjustment for me, because I'm like really close with my family. We spend a lot of time together, especially just like in general, like we spend an obnoxious amount of time together as a family. And obnoxious in a good way, but like being in clinical psych and being in a PhD program halfway across the country has limited my ability to go home and my ability to spend time with my family, because I can't just up and leave. And also I have a dog who's older, who the vet is like, don't put him on a plane because he's older. So yeah. And I think it's just like a lot harder for me to have boundaries because I'm here by myself. And so I guess this kind of leads into number 3 of like my least favorite. It's just like I'm here by myself, like it's just me and my dog, like I don't have any family close by. And so for me, it makes it a lot harder to have boundaries with work. And so like I'll just work all night, or I'll stay up late, or I'll do whatever, but it's really hard for me to be like, okay, I'm only gonna work a 9 to 5, and then after that I'm done. I'm gonna like spend time with my family, because like there's nothing really there to spend time with. So I hope that makes sense. And yeah, so I would say those are my top 3 least favorites. I think it's a me thing. Like I just have poor boundaries with work because I don't have like my family, or I don't have like things to go home to like break up my work. I think living halfway across the country and not being close to my family makes grad school hard, and it's probably one of my least favorites. And then what was the third one? Oh, things just move slow, and I am not a slow paced person. I'm like, let's get it done, fast, 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 done, 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 and it just doesn't move that way. Okay, now moving on to my favorite parts of grad school. I know that like the first part was kind of like really negative to me, but I will say that I'm having like a really majority good time in grad school. Like, it is really stressful at times, and it's not always like sunshines and rainbows and sugar cookies. Like, it gets like heavy and it's really stressful at times, but I'm still like having fun. Like, I would say like 80% of the time it's good, and 20% is like not bad, it's just really stressful and I'm like in the trenches. But then once I come out, I'm like, wow, that was great, look at all I accomplished. So I just wanted to preface that with that. Okay, preface the least favorite parts of grad school with that, like I'm still having fun. So let's move on to my favorite parts of grad school. I would say hands down the most, like my most favorite thing about grad school is helping people and being in clinical psychology. Like, there is like no greater feeling than like your client getting something. Like, you've been working with them and they're finally like being able to challenge their own thoughts, like, and like you taught them how to do that and they get it and you're just like, yes, 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 yes. Like, nothing feels better. Or like when your client's just like suddenly improving, like they're just doing so much better. Like, there are very, very few things that like for me equal that feeling of like my client finally like getting it and getting better, and like just like that feeling of being able to help somebody and giving them the tools to help themselves, like, means so much to me. Like, I could talk about that all day. It just feels so good. Or like when a kid is finally like in the moment able to like pause for a second, like if you have a really impulsive kid and they're able to just take a second and pause, and then they're like, oh, let my brain catch up, and then they do, and you like see them do it in the moment, you're like, yes, look at you, like you're doing it. It's so great. It just feels so good. Yeah, I would say that is probably like my favorite part about grad school so far. It's just like watching your clients grow and develop and get things. It really feels good. So I would say that my second favorite thing would be just like learning. Like, as nerdy and as geeky as that sounds, like I just feel like I've learned so much about like psychology and about people, and I feel like being in a clinical psychology program has just helped me be a better friend, a better partner, a better daughter, like a better all-around person, because like I'm learning these skills that I'm also going to teach my clients, but like I'm also learning them for me. I mean, that's not like the main point of me learning them. The main point is for me to help other people, but I feel like it's just like I've learned so much. Like, just even with research, like I went back and started reading some of my research papers from my undergrad when I was at Hampton. I was like, who graded this? Like, I had no clue how amazing research could really be. And so I just think, yeah, learning new things, learning new skills, learning new research that's being produced, being a part of that knowledge that's being produced is just like phenomenal. Like, it feels good. Like, it feels really good to like just learn about new things every day, I think. Like, sometimes I will say, like in class when you're learning about so much and it's like trying to drink from a water hose, like you're overwhelmed, but like once the knowledge kind of like solidifies and you really know what you're doing, like I think about like how scared I was to do assessments my first year, and now like I love doing assessments. Like, it's no thing. Like, I don't even, I mean, I think about it, but like it's not like okay, let's remember every single thing I learned, like it's already there. And so that feels really good. And so I think that, yeah, there's nothing else there. There was a thought and then like it's gone. Yeah, I think that just learning is really exciting, and I love to learn, so it really feels good to do that at the graduate level. And I feel like it's different than undergrad because like you're really getting into the nitty-gritty of like your field, and it's so much different than like learning in undergrad for sure. And it's like, I feel like it's more rewarding. Like, I feel like, you know, like I don't have any classes in undergrad that I feel like were pointless, but I do feel like being able to dive deeper into the subjects that you're passionate about make a world of difference in learning for sure. So yes, and then I will say that my last but certainly not least favorite thing about grad school is just the people. Like, I have made some really great friends in grad school. My mentor is phenomenal. Like, she just blows my mind every time we have a conversation. And my lab mates are amazing, and like the student of color like coalition, I don't know if we have a name for that, but students of color, it's so amazing. Like, there's a point, like when I got here, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to fit in here, because like I felt like I wasn't sure about it. But it's just like everybody has just like meshed together so well, like in my cohort and in the program. And it just like, the people here are phenomenal. The people here are doing amazing, incredible research, doing amazing clinical work. And like, yeah, the people here are probably like the top 3 thing that keeps me in grad school. Like, it really keeps me grounded. I have just made some really great friends here in grad school, really great mentors, and like just the connections and mentorship and networking that is available through meeting people in grad school is just like, it really blows my mind sometimes, because it's just so vast. Like, I was talking to my advisor and I was like, yeah, I want to use this study, but I can't find this person. And she's like, oh, I know them, I'll just send them a text and they'll send you the article. And it's just like that fast of like how small the world is, but also like how vast the connections are. And yeah, I think that is probably like my favorite part of grad school. Oh, I want to go back. I said that learning is my favorite, but I do not like reading for grad school. Like, that, take the learning and the reading separate, okay? Like, learning is fun, the reading's not so much fun. But yeah, so those are my favorite things about grad school: the people, learning, and being able to help people, and that feeling of like, I actually help this person. Like, we're not just sitting here wasting an hour of their time and my time. Like, they're actually getting things out of it. Feels good. So yeah, so those are my favorite and least favorite things about grad school. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those below. If you have watched this far, leave a green emoji down below. And be sure to follow me over on my social media. I keep saying I'm gonna post and then I never do, so you know, take that for what it is. And I will see you guys next week. Peace out, and I love you all so much. Bye.